Happy New Year, and happy 10th episode of my video business vlog. In this episode, I go over some Christmas additions, reveal some of my goals for the new year, talk through some new gigs, and even take you on some shoots with me this week. There's a lot going on in this episode, so let's get right into it. Well, hey there, and welcome to my 10th episode of my video business vlog. It's currently 2025. And I'm excited for the year ahead. This being my 10th episode is really a big deal to me because, a lot of times I felt really discouraged when I was making these vlogs or trying to find content for it that, sometimes I didn't have enough shots to even satisfy a certain segment of the vlog or even just chalk it up to pure laziness. But I'm glad that I finished up 2024 strong. Kicking off this episode, I wanted to go over some of the stuff that I got for Christmas. I hope that everybody had a happy holidays and got to spend some much needed time with their family and friends, and even gotten some of the camera gear that you were wanting throughout the year. So hopefully it was great for you. It was good for me, and I wanted to go over some of the stuff that I got. Starting off, I got the Sennheiser MKE 200. I was in need of an on-camera microphone for shots in my truck, shots where I'm walking around holding the camera. I was currently using, and it's still an incredible microphone, that TX660 Sony. Ended up settling on this, asked for this for Christmas, got it. It's relatively inexpensive, produces pretty good quality audio, so this is going to be good for the vlog setup. So excited to use this one. Next up, we got some new headphones. I'm a big Audio-Technica headphone fan, and I've been using them pretty much ever since I started my creative career. And just a good pair of Audio-Technica headphones. So these are the ATH M40Xs. These are incredible. Been using them to edit so far. Especially good for when you're trying to, EQ your video, when you're trying to mix music into your edits. They're pretty good. So I highly recommend Audio-Technica. Inexpensive and they sound good. Also, something that's not necessarily part of the gear list, it's more decorations, was another vintage camera from Argoflex. This is something my mother-in-law got me. May not even use it, but you've seen when I kind of showed off my office in the last episode, I have a few vintage cameras. Some not so vintage, some a little bit more in the modern era, but they're not like as new as the Sony I'm using right now. So got this little Argoflex, looks pretty cool. I like collecting these things, so it's added to the list. But not only that, I got another thing I've been needing is it's a camera bag. Mosiso, if I said that right. Didn't really realize I was needing this. I already have a box that I can transport all of my gear, but sometimes, I have had trouble in the past where it just feels a little too big and too bulky. For the shoots where I'm going out and I really don't need to be lugging around a big old box and a big pull cart. I remember there was a shoot recently where I had to go down a really steep hill to go film something, and there was no need for me to bring a big box. So having a backpack like that, really, really excited to use that in the upcoming shoots, and I believe I will take it on a couple of shoots this week. Like any new year, I want 2025 to be a good year of growth, not only for me personally, but for my business as well. So I've put together sort of a list of a few goals, and I don't want this to be such an extensive list where I sort of lose track, but stuff that I really want to target and try to get better at. First off, obviously for my business, I want to make more money. I want to be able to get a lot more clientele and work my way through that. So that's, for any business, that's kind of obvious. You want to make sure you make a lot of money. But this year I want to surpass what I made last year. I'm not looking for, so much more than I made last year, but enough to say that, I've grown. So that's the first thing. Second, I feel like when it comes to any field, you want to get better. So there's a few things I kind of want to get better at with regards to video and editing and even audio. Like, I obviously want to get better filming. I want to just kind of get a little bit more comfortable behind the camera, continue to grow in that regard. But a big thing is growing a little bit more in audio. The last couple months of 2024, I really got into understanding audio and how it works and how to edit it a lot more. So this year I want to surpass what I've learned, but hopefully have good sounding audio and be able to edit it properly. And even take some new strides, learn some new things on how to edit it, because it's very, very important. And hopefully this is sounding good to you, because this is that new microphone, that Rode NTG5 that I bought. So currently using that. Third thing is more of a quantitative thing. And with regards to YouTube, at the time of recording this video, I've got 148 subscribers, which very, very grateful for. And I think it's awesome how it has grown in such a short time. You know, I'm not expecting leaps and bounds. I'm not expecting 1,000 followers a month, but I do want to try to challenge myself. And I'm really putting a lot of effort into this channel. I really want to make sure it grows properly. So a goal for this year, being at 148 subscribers now on, this is the January 4th. I want to eclipse 500 followers by the end of the year. So if you're watching this video and you're currently not subscribed, help me get to that goal of 500. So I really would appreciate that from you. Another quantitative item is kind of for another one of my social platforms. You know, I obviously want to keep growing and get more followers everywhere, but Instagram's the one I've been struggling with. I am currently at 296. I'm almost to 300, but I do, since that one's a little bit slower, I want to get some more followers and I want to get up to 500, similar to YouTube, by the end of the year. And I think it's certainly possible. My Instagram's a little bit more geared towards the wedding side of my business, but still, go give it a follow. I update pretty much a lot of stuff that I'm doing business-wise on there. So go give me a follow on there. One of my last goals for 2025 is to be able to create a new playlist on YouTube. And I believe I haven't quite settled on the title, but what I want to call it is something along the lines of my video wish list or something like that. There are things like kind of when I started my career that I was like, you know what, I think that'd be really, really cool to do. I won't list those out right now. I've already done technically one of them, which was to film a short film, and I've told you about that in the past. But what I want to do is to make a YouTube playlist that, kind of goes over all of my video wish list items, things that I've really wanted to film, things I wanted to be a part of. And I want to make that a running playlist over the next couple years and kind of see where this journey takes me. There are a few things, like I said, I won't list that I want to do, and hopefully get a chance to share those with you. So hopefully, with regards to the short film, we're working on hopefully getting it into a film festival. And if that gets in, then we'll definitely have the first video of our video wish list playlist. So that's all of my goals for 2025. I'll hold myself to them. We'll see what happens. In 2025, I wanted to get a few more retainer clients to where I can have, the consistent revenue coming in each month, but also it adds a little bit more to the plate each week of stuff to do. Because, I have the Friday commitment with the dental office where I go in and, film content for them and help them edit it for social media, things like that. But I have been working with someone on, we just sent a proposal to a potential client who has businesses all over Mississippi. They're wanting to have some content created for their channels where we'll go and actually film the content and we'll edit it and have pretty much a month of scheduled content, put out for them. It'd be a really cool opportunity because maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 months, we'll be able to go and film the content. And this is not just big videos and all that. It's more short form vertical content. Hopefully it can open the door to some of those opportunities as well, being able to make commercials and all that. That'd be really, really fun. Or even make long form YouTube content for them, because I know that's something they want to do, is grow their YouTube. So I'll keep you updated on that. I'm really excited. Hopefully they like it and we can go forward with it. With regards to this week, physically going and shooting, I've got a pretty much booked Friday. So I am going back to the dental office Friday morning and we're gonna be filming just some more content as we always have. I went this past week. Specifically talking about this week, I have a pretty busy Friday. I don't really have a lot of video actual shoot days. I'm going to be doing a lot of editing, this week, but also I don't have any physical going and shooting days until Friday, which is pretty much a full Friday. And I'm going to go to the dental office like I typically do. And then that afternoon, I've got a repeat client who has asked me to do another video. It's a travel agent, local guy that I go to church with, and he's a cool dude. He's wanting to put together a commercial for a trip that he is doing, and we're going to be filming that Friday. And he's such an organized guy. We've got, he's got a script that he's going to be sending me, and he pretty much already has a vision. I do get to put my creative flair on it, but at the same time, he already knows what he wants, which it makes the editing process and the turnaround time for the project a lot easier. So I've got that Friday afternoon. It's pretty much going to be a full Friday, but in the meantime, I've been doing a lot of wedding editing, and I'm excited to get those out to the couples. So I'm really just enjoying more of the creating rather than being so focused on the numbers. Found a lot of joy in showing you my business opportunities and how it's been growing, and I'm glad those of you that have subscribed and those of you that will, it's just Cool to see. So I just got some pretty cool news. I was just scouring social media, and I don't know if much of you have known about this, but in the past I've mentioned being entered into a Best of Mississippi competition with regards to wedding videographers. And after all of the vote and after all of that is said and done, I managed to crack the top 5. So yeah, I've gotten included in that list. I just got my name published in the Best of Mississippi magazine. And so I'm super excited about that. And the funny thing is, right after doing so, I got maybe 4 or 5 people like this week that have reached out about wanting me to have their film their wedding. So it's a big blessing. Thank you to those who have voted, and it's an honor just to be nominated and to be voted for anything, to be honest with you. But I'm super excited for that. Helps out the business a little bit in the new year, and we'll see what the rest of the year holds for weddings. All right, getting packed up for tomorrow. It's currently Thursday. Gotta go to the dentist and then the travel agent afterwards. So I'm primarily backing up for the travel agent, but some of the stuff I take will be used at the dental office as well. So let's roll with it. I get to use my new camera bag, so that's exciting. Primarily for the travel agent video is going to be just one camera, and it's 2 people in the same video, so we're going to have a microphone over top. May bring a lapel set just in case, but for the most part we should be able to boom them. We're going to be at the same house we filmed the VSL video, so going to that's the plan for it. I mean, just really one tripod, teleprompter, and I think the thing we may go crazy on the most is lighting, but yeah, we'll see about that. Another 50mm, nifty 50. Still saving a little bit of space, shout out Wicked, for like batteries and extra batteries for my Viltrox monitor. Crazy little arm I have rigged up for my studio super clamp with a pin. This little thing that came with the Amaran 60X, and yeah, that helps me get it extended to where it's not interfering with the boom mic. That's what I love about videography. That's what I love about all this this work, is you get so many chances just to be creative for no reason. You saw in another episode when it scared me and Zach. Here goes nothing. Dear God. Alright, let's give you a look. Alright, so A7S3 Viltrox DCX2, audio equipment, extra battery for the monitor. I've got some super clamp here, extra lighting stuff, rocket blower just showed you, microphone in here, 3 lenses, that lens cap's loose, and this little Pelican. So that's pretty much all I'm taking in this. That's all that I can fit, but it's still a lot better than that box sitting in the closet. So all I have left is the headphones and a couple of lights, and we're gonna be good to go.
He has a blog on YouTube. Do you?
Make it make sense.
So, good time with the dentist, and I'm going to grab some equipment right now. Zach's coming to pick me up. He's gonna help me out on this shoot. It's currently raining, so it's wet and cold out here. So Zach's got a car. We're gonna put everything in there. A lot of the stuff I had to throw into the back of the vehicle, so there was no sense in getting it all wet and possibly it rusting. So waiting on Zach to come get me, and then we're gonna rock and roll to my relative's house and get this filmed. So, as I mentioned before, this is a one camera setup, but I like to be a little crazy. So I'm setting up a monitoring station that Zach, who's holding the camera, is going to be doing. But so it's going to be one camera with a little teleprompter. That's pretty much it. We're just going to do some stuff to help sound treat the room and that and get some lighting done. But as you can see, this is where we filmed the VSL. So it's a pretty familiar area, but it's a little bit different of a concept. This doesn't need to be as dark and moody. We're obviously going to cut some lights off, but we're not going for a really dramatic look. We want this to be really positive and upbeat because this is for a travel agent. Oh, should be able to see. Yeah. Getting smart here. Camera. So this is that monitoring station. So just my little Viltrox DCX2 hooked up to where the camera's going to be, and be a little bit bigger of a screen to be able to see what we're filming. The hardest part was the weather, and since it's just cloudy and cold, it's an abnormally cold day for Mississippi, so we are having to film indoors, and the problem was we didn't know a lot of places indoors that would look good on camera, so that's why we ended up back here. They did have a place in mind, but it was one place I've never been before, so yeah, I could have figured something out, but here it's going to be creating a pretty bright look, but without making it so dramatic. So I think that's going to be the hardest part. Lighting is always something I feel like everybody can get better at. So that's what we're going to try to do today. Also got this light stand from B&H. Goes a lot higher than I thought it would. It's been good to use, but for this shoot, that's what we're going to be using. 300C, like I said, Aperture Light Dome Mini. And then over here, we're using an Amaran tube. You saw this last time. We don't have to cover it with a coat this time. It was a little bit of a challenge because we didn't have enough light stands with us, but I also had my two Vari-Poles, in which I'll get to this blanket in a second. Basically used a super clamp, which is attached the blanket to the pole, and then with some attachments to get this. We just needed a little bit. It was keying them enough with that 300C, but it just was not getting the person on our left, their right, getting enough of his face coverage. So this just throws a little bit of softness at it. And then the blanket here, just an acoustic blanket to help absorb a little bit of sound. So they're talking in this direction, and so what we want to do is just eliminate a little bit of that reverb. If they were to talk in this direction, we'd have to do sort of the same thing behind the camera. We just feel like that kind of helps get a little bit of a soft surface. In reality, we would have to sound treat this whole room, but for the most part, it's not. We think it sounded great last time we were in here. This just helps have a little bit of soft surfaces, but it's dual purpose because, as you can see with these super clamps, one on either side, that's what's holding it up on these Vari-Poles. Having an attachment like that, it's multi-purpose. So that's what I really, really like. And hopefully this works out as a little bit of a fill light, but also a key light. I'm not looking for, there was a little bit, these windows back here, there was a lot, there's a lot of light coming from there. So there's a little bit of a backlight with a little bit of these lamps. I wasn't looking to do a lot of separation. I think with a shallow depth of field, we were able to capture that. But yeah, this is sort of the setup we're going with, and hopefully it goes well. Wait, is this?